We continue our conversation with Alan Parsons, and we dive into some uncomfortable waters regarding the elusive Grammy Award. But first, a little Hollywood fun courtesy Dr. Evil.
Anyways, the key to this plan is the giant laser. It was invented by the noted Cambridge physicist, Dr. Parsons. Therefore, we shall call it the Alan Parsons Project.
I guess every artist has this watershed moment where you realize that what you're doing is actually, A, making you money, and number two, it's being accepted by the public widely. And Eye in the Sky was really the watershed moment, and it became a radio smash. Tell me how that felt and what you did after that.
Interestingly, we never performed live as a band. It was a two-person band. Eric Wilson, Alan Parsons, and everybody else was brought in as session players. By the time Eye in the Sky came along, we were pretty well established. That must have been our fifth or sixth album, I think. It was 1982, as I remember. I mean, the reason I mentioned that we never played live is because we had to, in order to promote our records, we had to go and do tours of radio stations and TV stations and so on. So we did everything by interview, not by playing. And it was only years and years later that I decided to form a live band.
I see on the wall that you have Grammy nominations dating way back to the 70s. And you just won your first one. What does this all mean to you, and how does that play into your life at all, if at all?
You know, when I got my first Grammy nomination for Dark Side of the Moon, I didn't actually know what the Grammys were. I mean, it hadn't really crossed the pond into the UK. Now I think most people know what the Grammys are. But EMI made a big, or Capitol, who were the American branch of the record label, they made a big fuss about it and actually flew me over from London to LA to attend the Grammys. A big moment, big moment when I found out I hadn't won it as well.
To that peaceful glen, there will be no...
Ended up, you're sort of like the Susan Lucci of music. You were nominated and nominated and nominated and never won. 13
nominations for this recent win.
How did this
which
one
I'm
feel?
Very proud of, I must say.
It's right there. And you're very proud of it for what reason?
The Grammys is a measure of, as far as the American public is concerned, it's a measure of your talent. And it's particularly important to me to be recognized as a technical background person, because that's what I do. I grew up through the ranks of being a tape op, then an engineer, then getting into production. So the Grammy, all the Grammy nominations I received were for engineering or production. But I was delighted to win the Grammy for a surround sound project. We remixed Eye in the Sky for the 5.1 surround medium.
And it worked.
That got submitted as the best immersive sound recording, I think they call it now. And yeah, I was very proud.
You just completed The Secret. How do you find a project that inspires you at this point and makes you do what you do?
It was a long gap between the previous album and this one. I know it just came, the magic concept just came to me one day. You know, I've always been fascinated by all things to do with magic. I have a big collection of magic, chests full of magic, in fact, and shelves full of books, and a lot of friends who are magicians. So it's fascinated me for a long time. And it seemed like an obvious thing to base an album on.
Well, we're so grateful for your time. We're grateful for the experience we've had already here with your studio, and we wish you the very best on the new album. And keep making music. It's terrific, and we appreciate the invitation.
Thank you so much.
Show me a miracle. Show me.
And here it is, The Secret. He played us one of the tracks in his amazing surround sound studio. You'll have to experience this for yourself. And like everything else he's done in his life, this is a masterpiece.